a part of the world where marijuana has long been.
That's where I went once to try and catch up with this very guy. In 2012.
Yeah, I was a commercial grower. I was on the other side of the law. Some people say I still am, but...
These days, Tony cultivates and harvests marijuana plants to manufacture cannabis oil for medical use. Some customers make donations. Some customers he supplies for free. In any case, Tony says he's not in it for the money.
A search warrant has been issued for this premises.
I know what that's like.
And confiscation of his crops.
Is there any further you want to say about these cannabis plants here?
Well, they're people, you know, all these plans represent people that I help.
Wow.
I help people on the Red Cross in this war. I try to save as many people as I can as we go through on this war.
Yeah, it is right. Good on you, Tony.
You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to have anybody help anybody in any way. Pretty mad society we live in, isn't it? We'll change it.
What is government for? They're pretty good when you don't want them, and when you want them, they're useless. At the very least,
Well said, Alan.
decriminalise use of this drug for the terminally ill.
Unlike America, there seems to be little willingness among Australian politicians to change the law.
Because they're too fucking crooked and they're getting too much out of it.
A recent parliamentary inquiry recommended terminally ill patients be allowed to possess a small amount of marijuana for medical purposes. It was rejected outright by New South Wales Health Minister Gillian Skinner.
She's completely
Skinner.
disregarded the recommendations and put the issue on a back burner.
Yeah.
So your life, Daniel, is on a back burner to the government of New South
It's
Wales.
just been trivialised, pretty much.
Really, it's time to look forward, and it's time to think boldly.
Mrs. Skinner likes
Coldly, she means.
alternate solutions.
Coldly.
It's time to broaden our thinking, to
Huh?
evolve by
Broaden yours, bitch.
and new technologies, to strive to deliver the right care in the right place at the right time.
But when she went to Tamworth recently to visit the hospital cancer clinic, Dan Haslam, who got off his sickbed to try and meet her, got a less than warm reception.
I was pretty out of sorts. I'd just finished chemo and I was pretty heavily doped up. And I happened to have a letter print out of my story and our petition and everything. So I just went up and introduced myself, and I don't think she was too happy to see me. She was a bit taken back. She was pretty rude though.
Poor red-faced
Declined
bitch.
to be interviewed by Sunday night. She provided this statement.
Hag.
While in Tamworth in April, I met with Daniel Haslam and his family. I listened to Daniel's story and gave him my sympathy and support. I explained New South Wales health concerns about cannabis usage and the health side effects.
She listened to
Can
what
you
he had to
please
say
stop
and he
him,
told her
Mum?
that he was using the
Shadow.
cannabis to manage his nausea and his vomiting. And then she told him that smoking cannabis would give him lung cancer.
Which was a bit rich, considering we've already got it.
Our son has got lung cancer. It goes from the bowel to the liver to the lungs. It's into his lymph glands. And she tells him that he's got...
What an ignoramus, hey?
This could give him lung cancer. Goodness me. Dreadful thing to say to a young fella.
Medical marijuana may be too confronting for Australia's lawmakers.
Yeah.
So for many of our law enforcers. In a sign of how far Middle Australia has come, listen to this view from Tamworth's top cop, Detective Superintendent Clint Feeney.
If it can make people feel better...
I'd like to give it to my dog.
You know,
And others.
You know, people will raise issues of addiction, you know, they might get addicted. Well, these people are terminally ill, so if they get addicted, does it really mean anything?
So what?
Is that important? No, what's important is for people to show compassion and to allow these people to access something that works.
Get up.
So you're happy to turn a blind eye in this case?
Absolutely. Look, I think it's, I think morally it's the right thing to do, and I think a lot of other police officers feel the same way I do. I'd be very surprised if they didn't.
Is it a discussion that you've had with other police officers?
It is. I've had it with...
Nah, they like the gravy though, they like the easy targets.
junior constables, you know,
What would they do without this law?
and they all feel the same way.
All? I wish I believed that.
We shouldn't have to...
What about the police lobby?
That are terminally ill, to move around in the shadows, to try
It's got a
and
big
find
lobby.
some
Why doesn't it lobby for it?
their pain. We shouldn't be doing that. You know, not if we care about people.
If they're all for it.
We've got so much faith in what we're doing, and the people that are supporting us have got faith in us as well, so...
I got an email a couple of days ago about an Australian woman who moved to America because her young boy's got a brain tumour, and they've ended up on the oil, and his tumour's halved in size.
How do you feel when you hear stories like that?
Like, I know I don't have a brain tumour, but still, it's hope.
Yeah, what's enough faith for us? That's enough evidence for us to
She
just...
doesn't open her mouth.
We've got...
Speak.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a...
May be frail, but
Jesus, is it a problem,
anyone I have ever met. And he wants
She's
to
not a
raise
public
politicians.
speaker in general, I would think, and most
Premier
people who are
to
interviewed
listen
aren't.
Talking like that.
What would you respectfully say to the Premier, Daniel?
Dear me.
I just say that he just has to be human. Just show some compassion to fellow people. I'm sure he knows someone who's suffering from cancer. Everyone does, unfortunately, nowadays. And I'm not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Just
Where's the victim?
house, trying to cure my cancer. And I don't want to feel like a crook for it. And I don't want all the old cockies up at oncology that are just, they don't want to break the law, but they're suffering. I want them to be able to go and treat themselves and help themselves,
Yeah.
help their families, not watch them just die and suffer.
Give Daniel a chance.
So,
And I'll keep in touch with you.
perfect.
Thank you.
And our thoughts are with you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
There we are. Who would walk in those shoes?
Helen Kapelos reporting, and if you want to give